on camera. Okay. I wasn't ready.
Are you ready now?
Yeah.
Okay, so your name is Lauren,
Yes.
right? I mean, I know Lauren, so she's in my program. We've known each other for a while. So tell me about your experience with the strike so far this week.
So I'm half in Nate's program, Master of Urban and Regional Planning, but I'm also a dual law student, which is a professional school. And so it's been kind of a moral challenge for me to navigate because as law students, we have professional obligations that we have to attend a certain amount of classes. So the day the strike started on Tuesday, I didn't attend any of my classes virtually, and I refused to go to, I have one class in person, I refused to go to campus. But because of the professional obligations.
With the bar, right?
With the, American Bar Association. I've been attending class since then, but I haven't been doing any of my research work. So I'm not currently employed as a teaching assistant at GSI, but I am employed doing research assistant work for Taubman, which is the School for Architecture and Urban Planning. And so I'm doing 2 projects, and I was supposed to have a meeting today, didn't go. I haven't done any of my research for that. So that's one way I'm participating in the strike. And then tuning into the teach-ins. Today I came out to campus. This is my first time on campus since the strike started, to just help in any way I can, whether that's cleaning up, picketing, making sure our voices are heard, and then doing a lot of like behind-the-scenes organizing in terms of I've just been like trying to text people at the law school who just got to campus. Don't really maybe know what GEO is, and also a lot of law students never have the opportunity to engage because we don't have GSIs or GSRAs at the law school.
Right, and you and I have sort of been in the same position in that sense where just really trying to organize people who don't have a lot of information about GEO, whether they be master students in general, like in the Urban Regional Planning program, or law students. It's almost like we've had to do this at like breakneck speed, which is pretty stressful, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely taking a lot of like emotional labor, which on the walk over here to come to campus to help with the strike efforts, we were talking about how something the university doesn't seem to acknowledge or care about is the emotional labor that goes into being a graduate employee.
Period.
We were talking about students last semester when I was a GSI who once school went remote, just emailing me, telling me all of their mental health concerns and like leaning on me as a resource, which I was happy to do because I care so much about my students.
Right.
But I'm not getting, paid for that kind of emotional labor. Like that goes beyond my.
And you're not
fraction.
A professional in that.
Yeah, and I'm not trained to offer that support as much as I want to offer that support to students.
Completely understand.
So I think that's a huge thing that the university just totally disregards in terms of what the GSIs are bringing to campus.
So did you attend the general membership meeting last night?
So I had a law school event that I had to go to at the same time, but Paige, my old roommate, was watching it like around the corner from me, like on the other room. So I was
you kind of heard it from the other room?
hearing it, yeah.
What
and then
was...
following the email updates afterwards.
Right. So the meeting it took forever, right? 4 hours. I don't know if you heard, but there was a lot of like arguments for both sides, a lot of people very passionate. The initial vote for sort of the temperature check on whether people wanted to continue with the strike was overwhelmingly for the offer, right? So not to continue with the strike, but by the end of it, obviously things changed big time. So did you have any like sort of thoughts or feelings going through the meeting from the other room?
Yeah, so I think the thing I was most upset about is that the university just gave they just gave us nothing in terms of demilitarizing campus police.
Right. Literally did not budge at all.
Yeah, they didn't budge at all. They're completely disregarding it, and it's just like such a slap in the face, especially considering the national moment that's taking place right now. Like, how is this not at the forefront? And they created this ambassador program, and I actually spent probably over 50 plus hours. I worked with a team of 3 grad students over the summer trying to create COVID solutions.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And we had created a similar program, and not in terms of what actually came about, the ambassador program, but we wanted to create some sort of public health trained student who could act as a contact, like the main point of contact for students if they were concerned about COVID related issues. And the university kind of took this idea that we spent all summer working on, and instead of, we had it vetted with university health services and campus housing, and instead they decided to embed it with the police department.
Oh my
which is
God.
just like not what we were advocating for and not what we were working on.
Tone
and
deaf.
obviously, yeah, read the room. So just seeing last night that they continue to like disregard these very like important demands regarding policing on campus is just such bullshit.
Right. Absolutely. And I know, like, it was enraging that they did not budge at all. They were not willing to have a conversation, and then they threatened us, which brings me to the next point, right? Are you aware of the sort of threats that the university leverage against us?
So I am aware, and I remember receiving Provost Susan Collins' email,
Right.
and how angry that email made me, where she really wanted to reiterate that striking is illegal in the state of Michigan. And kind of serendipitously, that night for law school reading, I had read a case where, I'm gonna like butcher the quote, but
okay.
and I don't remember the case off the top of my head, but the justice had written that like just because something is legal or illegal does not like dictate its morality for society.
Right.
And so
Right.
reading those words and then reading her email, like I think this happened within the same hour, was just like, yeah, fuck you, administration. Right. Like I don't care that this is illegal. Like this isn't just, and that's
This
why
is
we're
literally
out here.
praxis. Yeah.
Yeah, we're fighting for a safe and just campus.
Right. So moving forward from this point, now also having those threats in mind of what the university is saying that they might do, what are your thoughts? Like internally, what are your emotions moving forward with the strike? Like, how do you feel your role will be moving forward?
I'm just trying to give as much like behind the scenes support as possible. I'm not
Right.
in a student facing role this semester. I'm not teaching, which actually is a whole other thing where I wanted to teach, but the law school said I wasn't allowed to. So
Really?
they don't want you to teach when you're a first year law student, which is frustrating. But because because I'm not in that position, I do want to do the behind the scenes work where I'm like trying to organize my friends, talking to my departments, and then coming out. Like I knew the strike ended at 5 p.m. tonight, but I was like, I'm just gonna go to campus and do whatever I can, even if it's picking up trash.
She was actually trying to help, and I like stole her over here for an interview.
But yeah, and I do feel bad because students come here to learn, and they deserve to learn. We're paying a lot of money to learn, and they deserve to have the GSIs there to support them. But I still stand that like this strike is important and it needs to be done because the university obviously isn't caring about those undergraduate students either.
Right. And we're doing this in support of their health.
Yeah.
So like in one sense, you're right. Like we could be teaching class, we love our students, but also we love our students, want them to live.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for the
Nate.
interview.